Red corner, Темиртас, Жусупов!
Cuba, no holding. Stop! Stop! Red corner, Ильяс!
С ногами троечку.
Ай, молодец, это... Mira, mira, mira el suéltalo para que le meta el culo. Dale, quita ya. Báñalo, guacacho.
Blue corner, Soto, Yosbani!
Вот так,
Вот так, баланс, покороче, Дима.
Сонымен ата-тәләп қымбаттықтармен ұзамақ сахнатымен қамсалыңыздар. Астанамыздың жарқын жұлдызы Маржан Арапбаева. Қамсалайық.
Салют, Аслан, Альварес. Бүгінгі еліміз қалай? Өте аз есімдер және Олжас. Бүгінгі еліміз қалай? Сулда, Қазақстан.
Welcome back to the Season 7 finals here at the Sport Palace in Astana, Kazakhstan. It's 3-2 to the Cuba Domadores after the C1 weight categories, after the first 5 bouts. The usual unified rules in place. Now we head into the C2 categories. And the Cuba Domadores have been formidable in the C2 divisions. When they've had problems this season, it's generally come in C1. They blitzed the opposition at flyweight, lightweight, welterweight, light heavyweight and super heavyweight, and those are the routes through to the finals, through the playoffs for those 2 teams. Astana Arlans getting past the Russian boxing team, and then the British Lionhearts, the Cuba Domadores past the Uzbek Tigers, and then the Colombia Heroicos, who had a brilliant season, really, you would have to say, in their first WSB season. So the order has been rejigged. It'll be light heavies, then flyweights, then super heavyweights. Arman Mominov, the man with the mic, this afternoon into the early evening in Astana. And a mercurial boxer just making his way to the ring now. 3-time world champion, crowned the Olympic champion in Rio last summer, having been knocked out in the quarterfinals in London 2012. He'll be an overwhelming favourite to become a 4-time world champion in Germany at the end of August, start of September. It is, of course, Julio La Cruz. Terrific record in WSB as well, 20 wins and just 3 defeats. Won a gold medal at the recent American Championships, has won gold in the Pan American Games, has therefore won everything you can possibly win. Rizbek was inexperienced in WSB before this season. He's 5-1 overall. He's 3-1 this season. That one defeat coming in his last fight against Tom Whittaker-Hart of the British Lionhearts at York Hall. He's a 2-time national champion, so this is a big, big ask against La Cruz. It's a big ask for anyone to get the better of Julio La Cruz, and if he could do it here, Rizbek, then that would not only just level up the scores, but it would give the Arlans a massive boost. You look at the respective records of these Cuba Domadores in the C2 weight divisions. La Cruz, 20 wins, 3 defeats. Yosbani Veta at flyweight, 22 wins, 3 defeats. Lazaro Alvarez, 22 wins, 1 defeat. Ronьель Iglesias, 20 wins, 4 defeats. It is formidable. So light heavyweights, 81 kilos, Ahmed Rizbek of the Astana Arlans on the left-hand side there, and Julio La Cruz of the Cuba Domadores on the right in the white shorts with the gold belt. So into the first, Rizbek in that southpaw stance. La Cruz will do what he always does, which is to prove to be extremely difficult to hit. Doesn't hit that hard himself, but the only indication of it there. Right hand was thrown by Rizbek. La Cruz just dipped underneath it, turned him, was away to his right-hand side before really Rizbek knew where he'd gone. He does lose the odd fight. His ardent followers, La Cruz, always argue that he should have got the decision whenever he doesn't get a decision. I've been on the receiving end of that one on Twitter a few times. But the record books are the record books, and they do show that he does lose the occasional fight. So whatever you may think of the verdict, uppercut. Cruise with the right hand, just popping that right hand through the middle. The glove so up for the second volley and the third, but that right hand again there does get through. Just shifted his weight onto his back foot, and as he was kind of pulling away, just threw it. He can make all sorts of angles, Julio Cruz. He did get put down, I remember, in the World Championships in Doha in 2015 by Joshua Buatsi from Great Britain. That's not something that happens all that often. He's not moving as extravagantly tonight so far, Cruz, as he can do sometimes. Sometimes he dips low at the waist and so far back, and the lateral movement is so extravagant that he can find himself a touch off balance at times. End of the first round.
Cuba Domadores, боксеру 27 лет, вес 81 килограмм, олимпийский чемпион Рио 2016 год, чемпион мира Доха Катар 2015 год, Варгас, чемпионат Американской конфедерации второе место 2015 год, Торонто, панамериканские игры первое место 2015 год, профессиональный рекорд всемирной серии бокса 20 боев, 3 поражения. Поприветствуем Хулио Цезарь Лакрус.
Bit of a rope burn on the right pectoral there of Arman Rizbek. Cruz staying on his feet between rounds.
Seconds out.
Well, Rizbek gets that opening round 10-9 with judges A and B. Cruz gets it with judge C. Rizbek was maybe the more aggressive, you could say, on the front foot a little bit more. I felt that it was Cruz who got home with the better shots, but it was tight according to those three judges at ringside. Right hand there from Rizbek was a good shot, good punch. Just sticking that jab, Cruz, looking to fire that right hand in behind it. Slight slip there from Cruz as he was just pivoting around that front foot. It's almost backhanded, that jab at times, the way he just flings it up from the waist. Cruz just moving those feet again. Just beginning to get into that kind of hypnotic rhythm here, Cruz, which can spell danger for his opponents. Rizbek just struggling to get any punches off at all at the minute. Cruz isn't landing heavily, he's not landing that cleanly. Rizbek hasn't thrown anything for a good 30 seconds now. He just tends to mesmerise his opponents, really. And inside there, Cruz landed a good left hand and then just moved away. As soon as you start to dance to the beat of the Cruz's drum, then you have a problem. It's really pretty incredible how he manages to get fighters to do that. Lovely 1-2 there from the Cruz. Very snappy, it was nice and clean too. Both of them landed. They landed obviously.
Итак, дамы и господа, в красном углу ринга отдыхает боксер команды Astana Arlans, боксеру 26 лет, вес 81 килограмм, чемпион спартакиады Республики Казахстан, профессиональный рекорд, 5 боев, 1 поражение. Поприветствуем Арман Респект!
So the Cruz is round. 20 points to 18 at the bottom, I should say. So he's got a 2-point margin with Judge C, level with Judges A and B.
Seconds out. Round 3.
Rizbek has got to try and do something to change the tempo that was established in that second round. If it continues like that, then he's going to lose. He kind of held his feet a bit more in the first round of the Cruz and not traded exactly, but he didn't move as much as he normally does, and that seemed to bring Rizbek into the fight a bit more. He's a kind of fighter, the Cruz, who could almost win a round without throwing a punch, because he makes you miss, and miss so badly at times. He makes fighters look a bit foolish. Good example of it there. All of a sudden, he is not where Rizbek thought he was. Rizbek didn't really turn his back. He just was powering in towards a neutral corner, towards an opponent who had disappeared. Didn't really manage to get to the Cruz. Just reminding the Cruz that they are there to fight, and responding maybe a touch to the boos from the crowd who feel that he's not really engaging. He had gone for a little spell there without throwing anything. This is what he does. He is in some ways quite unorthodox. A lot of the time he is quite square on, as he is there, as he stands in front of his opponent, but just the slight adjustments of feet, and all of a sudden he's in a good position to throw or catch you if you're suckered in by that. Nice right hand there from the Cruz. And the Cruise is round, so a point margin with judges A and B, 3 points clear with Judge C. It's difficult to see what Rizbek can do really here, because Cruise, once he gets in front, he is extremely difficult to catch. Fighters often know that they've fallen behind and they feel they need to try and force the pressure and force the pace, and that's exactly what he wants you to do. He wants you to commit, and he will work off that. Rizbek trying to get those feet to take him to a place where he can get into range and launch an effective, sustained assault on Julio Cruz, but it's just an extremely difficult thing to do. People have tried everything, really. Forcing the pace, roughing him up, anything you can really think of. And the only fighter who's really managed to get him to come over the top of that front foot and break him out of that rhythm was Yamaguchi Falcao in the London 2012 Olympics, when he beat him in the quarterfinals, which was a big upset at the time. Just trying to trap that arm there, Rizbek. That's not a bad idea. It's against the rules, I'm aware of that. The referee just having a word with him about it there, but he's just got to try everything he can, anything he can think of. That pound there from Rizbek was decent, but he won a couple of himself in the seconds leading up to it. The Cruise it is again, so he's got this one in the bag unless Rizbek can stop him really in this final round. That's what he's going to have to do to turn it around.
Seconds out. Basic round, round 5.
The order in both C1 and C2 tonight has not been in normal weight order. I do think for the Astana Arlans that it would have been better for them to have started with the flyweights. Olžas Sаттыбаев beat Yosbani Veitia when they met in the final 2 years ago. And Sаттыбаев may well have fancied his chances of doing the same thing again and getting his team off to a good start in the second half. As it is, they're going to fall 4-2 behind. There would have been some thinking behind it. There would have had to have been an agreement made. Technically speaking, there is no home team here. We are, of course, in Kazakhstan, and the Astana Arlans are, of course, from Astana. In terms of any kind of preference given to either team, there would have been none. Doubling up on that right hand, went to the body, then looked to try and send it up the middle. The uppercut. It's been a decent effort this by Rizbek, but I've seen this fight so many times from the Cruz over the last, well, 3-4 years particularly, since the Domadores have been in WSB. Over 5 rounds. He's maybe more difficult to beat than he is over 3, because he just has a little bit more time to have a look if he wants to have a look, and then settle. But you need to get ahead against him. And Rizbek kind of did that. He got the first round with 2 of the judges, so you couldn't ask for much more, to be honest. But the Cruz has so much composure, so much skill, and so much experience now too, that getting a W against him is an achievement that a boxer can really look back on at the end of his career and be very proud of. Bell goes, and Cuba will get this one. So it will be 4-2 through 6 bouts. We still have to get the official announcement, of course, but we know that that's what's going to happen, because it was 39-37 on 2 cards. Going into that final round, 40 points to 36 on another, so he only has to avoid a 10-8 defeat on one of those 2 cards to win the fight. And of course, we are well aware that that final round could not possibly have been scored 10-8 in favour of Arman Rizbek. Domadores will really be wanting to avenge that defeat in Astana 2 years ago. It hurt that they were watching the fight, the rest of the team right next to me pretty much, and they were devastated when it didn't go their way.
Judge 1, 46-49, Judge 2, 46-49, Judge 3, 45-50, winner points by unanimous decision winners, blue corner, Julio Cruz.
So after that first round where Rizbek won it with David Williams and Yasser Sinar, he didn't get another round on any of the 3 judges' scorecards. Juan Tejera scoring at 50 points to 45, 5 rounds to 0. So the Cruz gets the point for his team, and they open up a 4-2 advantage now. So now into the flyweights, and as I mentioned, Olžas Sаттыбаев and Yosbani Veitia met 2 years ago in the finals, and it was Sаттыбаев who won by unanimous decision, and he needs to repeat that. Doesn't matter whether it's unanimous or by a split, but he needs the win to get this back to 4-3. Sаттыбаев 10-2 in WSB. Yosbani Veitia has just picked up a gold medal at the American Championships, competed in the London and Rio Olympics, didn't medal at either of those, but his World Series boxing record is formidable, 22 wins and 3 defeats. Silver medal in the 2015 World Championship, was silvered at the Pan American Games as well.
Please welcome Yosbani Veitia.
Veitia will remember, though, that defeat a couple of years ago, and it was a big one. It was a big victory again for the Astana Arlans, because it was 3-2 after the C1 categories, and they got it back to 3-3. They opened up the lead, rather, I beg your pardon, to 4-2 with a win in the opening bout of the C2s. And they managed to maintain that 2-point gap right into the very end. Veitia with a win against Muhammad Ali of the British Lionhearts in last season's final. Sattыбаев, as I say, has got a big weight on his shoulders here. They really need the win from him. The former Asian champion competed at Rio and London as well, just as Veitia did. 10 wins, 2 defeats in WSB. One of just a handful of fighters remaining, actually, in this Arlans team from that Season 5 win. He also won in Season 3, were runners-up in Season 1. They've been here right from the very start. Well, Sattыбаев very quickly across the ring. But here, southpaw Sattыбаев, orthodox fighter, Olžas Sattыбаев in the yellow and blue of the Astana Arlans of Kazakhstan. Yosbani Veitia in the white of the Cuba Domadores. It's 52 kilos, the flyweight division. Long right hand there from Sattыбаев, taking on the gloves though by Veitia. The referee David Williams saying that it was a bit of a slap from Sattыбаев, delivered with the inside of the glove with the palm. It has to be the knuckle part of the glove. As always, the scoring system changed before the World Championships in Almaty nearly 4 years ago, but the method of landing a scoring punch is still the same, has always been the same. Looking off the jab there, Veitia. Looking for the long left hand, landed to the body. Tries to keep those hands moving. Sаттыбаев seems to get him into some kind of a flow, just gives him a quick shake out. Veitia darts in and out. Right hand from Veitia was a decent shot, arm spread wide there from Sаттыбаев. Easy to say, is that all you've got? But it landed, and he knows it did.
Cuba Domadores, боксеру 25 лет, чемпионат мира Доха, 15 год, второе место. Варгас, чемпионат Американской конфедерации, второе место, 15 год. Торонто, панамериканские игры, второе место, 15 год. Профессиональная рекорд всемирной серии бокса, 22 боя, 3 поражения. Йосбани, Вейтиа, Cuba Domadores.
Well, I think those scores are right. I think they just haven't changed the caption at the top there. So Judge B and C giving it 10-9 to Veitia, and Judge A giving it 10-9 to Sаттыбаев, because those weren't the same scores that were returned at the end of the first round in that light heavyweight bout. It was a tight round. Did look as though Veitia had probably landed the better punches, the cleaner punches over the course of the 3 minutes. And as mentioned, the Arlans need this one. If they fall 5-2 behind, then they'll need to win all 3 of the remaining scheduled bouts to take it to a tiebreaker, which will be at flyweight. At this weight, Olzas Banyazov will box for Astana, and Frank Zaldivar for Cuba. Zaldivar's 3-0. Banyazov is on his debut, or will be if he's needed. Arlans needs Sаттыбаев to get something done here. Doesn't need to panic though, it's just in round 2. Pulled that right hand and then lands short with it there. Sаттыбаев. Veitia just moves in to close the gap, but closed it down a bit too quick through the right hand, but made contact with the inside of the forearm really rather than the glove. Good left hand there from Veitia. Just raises that left glove to try and let the judges at ringside know that he scored with it. He's throwing enough here, Sаттыбаев, but very little is making real contact. Veitia's just touching him. He's not hitting him hard, but he is landing punches. Well, split scoring again, same as it was in the first round. So 20-18 with Judge A in favour of Sаттыбаев, and the same with judges B and C, but in favour of Yosbani.
Round 3.
So Sаттыбаев has got to do something about one of those two cards with judges B and C. Nice left hand that from Veitia. Sаттыбаев was on the way in, he just caught him with it. A bit more sustained that from Sаттыбаев, a shake of the head there from Veitia. Most of the punches were taken on the gloves, just as they are there, but it's better from Sаттыбаев. He's not really reaching though as he throws those volley of punches there. He's not, in a way, he's not really committing. He's not near enough. He's at the wrong range there, the wrong distance. This looks okay, and it'll probably look quite good from 10-15 rows back, but from ringside where the judges are, he's not going to get anything for that because those punches are barely reaching the gloves. Good example there. Good left hand for Veitia. He's not throwing as much, but when he does, he is landing more. Split scoring again, and Judge A has Sаттыбаев up. Judge B, Veitia by a point. Judge C, Veitia by 3 points. So that was a good round for Sаттыбаев. He's still very much in the hunt here on two of the cards. He's up on one point down on the other. He can forget about Judge C. Veitia's got that one in his pocket. But with 2 rounds to go, this is very much alive at fight weight. Astana Arlans need it. They need to narrow that gap to 4-3. Sattybаев has just stepped in a bit this round, prepared to just get that little bit closer. And what he's been doing is served him well enough because he's still in the fight, but I was saying in the previous round that he just needs to commit a bit more. Good left to the body there from Sattybаев, that's more like it. Blood coming from the nose here of Veitia. There was just a trickle that has started to come in the previous round, and there's more now. Now the referee's going to get that sorted out by the ringside doctor. Sattybаev's round so far, I would say. Just sinking onto the back foot there and tucking up Veitia. As soon as he issued the instructions to box there, David Williams, Sattybаев just let go with that right hand. Again, these have mostly been taken on the gloves, but there's more behind them, rather than the punches barely reaching the gloves and just falling on them like some kind of light rainfall. This time, now this round, they're thudding into the gloves, into the forearms, and that has more of an impact on the opponent, and I think it has more of an impact on the judges as well. With Veitia, again, just using those lovely feet. Scoring of this round is critical for Sattybаев. That scorecard where he was a point down, that cannot go against him. If it does, then really he's done for, I'm afraid. But if he can get it with Judge B and get it with Judge A, then he'll be up on one, level on one, down on one, and it'll be anyone's going into that final round. Well, Veitia's got it on all three cards. So that's bad news for Sattybаев, level with Judge A, but Veitia with a 2-point advantage with Judge B, 4-point advantage with Judge C. And it looks very much as though the Domadores are going to stretch their lead to 5-2, which would mean that they would just need to pick up 1 point from their remaining 3 fighters, Lazaro, Alvarez, Ronьель, Iglesias and Joandri Toirak. It was Toirak who boxed at super heavyweight when the score was 5-4 2 years ago. He needed to get the win against Ivan Dichko to force a tie break, and Dichko just knew too much for him. He was inexperienced at the time, Toirak. He still is relatively. It's been Jose Larduet who's been boxing at super heavy for the Domadores this season in WSB, who went to the American Championships as well and won gold, so I'm not quite sure why he's not here. Maybe some kind of injury. It's difficult to get any information out of the Cubans. Rolando Acebal is pretty taciturn, to say the least. I remember a couple of years ago trying to discover why Lenny Aparo wasn't in the team, and I was just met with a steely kind of glare. It was made pretty clear that team selection was not really something that need concern me. Left to the body was a good shot there from Veitia. Sattybаев now trying to work at close range. Veitia tucks up with that chin just nestled down behind the shoulder. Bell goes at the end of the fight, and we know that Veitia will get it. Little shimmy from him right at the very end. He's confident. Cuban flags, Kazakhstan flags, they're extremely common sights in international competitions. I'm sure we'll be seeing those raised on a number of occasions when we get to Hamburg in late August. And this will be a measure of revenge for Veitia, who, as I've been mentioning, lost 2 years ago in the finals against Olžas Sattybаев.
We have the decision of Judge Committee. Judge 1, 47-48, bridge Teresha, Karavsheta, Karavsegas. Judge 2, 46-49, Yegin Teresha, Karanalta Karantovas. Judge 3, 45-50, Teresha, Karavpes, Winner points by unanimous decision. Winner is blue corner, Yosbani, Veitia.
So Veitia gets it 3 rounds to 2, 4 rounds to 1, 5 rounds to 0. Which means that he won that final round with all 3 of our judges there. Judges Morley, Sinner and Tejera. And Cuba going to a 5-2 lead. So they lost the opening 2 bouts. And they've won the 5 since then. And at the minute, they have one hand on that WSB trophy. They need 1 more point to make sure of that, with 3 of the 10 scheduled bouts remaining, which means, of course, that the Astana Arlans need to win them all. And Toirak, Yandi Toirak, is in position now to get his team that win. As I mentioned, 2 years ago, he was in position to take his team to the tie-break, to keep his team in it. He couldn't deliver then. I wonder whether he can now. As I said, Jose Lardoet has been the #1 choice at super heavyweight this season. Toirak 3-2 in World Series boxing. Olžas Bukayev, though, 1-1, so the 2 most inexperienced fighters meeting in the same division here.
Ladies and gentlemen, with the blue corner of the ring, we invite the boxer from Cuba, Domadores. Please welcome
Against Dichko a couple of years ago, Toirak just couldn't get close enough to him. Dichko, of course, is huge, 6'5", 6'6", massive long reach. Toirak, a shorter kind of a fighter. The super heavy needs to bob and weave his way in against a fighter with those kinds of tools, and just couldn't do it. Orlando Acebal knows that they are touching distance away from a 3rd WSB win in 4 seasons. Their record since they joined the competition is absolutely astonishing. We all knew they'd be very, very strong. But I don't think anyone was quite prepared maybe for just how dominant they've been. But Olžas Bukayev, in a sense, has got nothing to lose here, because his team are on the brink. He's just had 2 WSB fights before. And he can just go out there and do what he can do. He's got Pinchuk on the back of his shorts, but I can assure you that it is Olžas Bukayev. So this is super heavyweights for the Astana Arlans, Olžas Bukayev. For the Cuba Domadores, Joandri Toyrak, Yasar Sina of Turkey, our referee. And you'd say actually that both of these two, the super heavyweights, are actually a little bit on the small side, certainly in terms of height.
Round 1.
Stiff jab there from Toyrak, just met Bukayev as he was on his way in. Toyrak has made a fast start here, cracking away to the body. Uppercut was a good shot. That got right up between the elbows. This is good stuff from Toyrak. He's working around the clock face, finding the angles. Those gloves look pretty small on the super heavyweights. There's an uppercut again, goes to the body and then goes up the middle. He's taken them well so far, Bukayev, but he can't continue to take them if he's to have any chance of winning this fight. Simultaneously, really. Wild overhand right there, really, from Bukayev. Missed by a distance, and he's taken the volume of punches in the first round here. Olžas Bukayev has not stopped him coming forward. Toyrak put a lot into that, but it's a good round for the Cuban. When he missed with that big overhand right, he was really made to pay for it. His weight was heavily on his front foot. He was stuck a bit, and Toyrak just teed off on him. Well, I find it pretty amazing that Judge A can give that first round to Bakayev, but the other two, judges B and C, have gone the way of Toyrak.
Round 2,
Good stiff jab there again from Toyrak. Kicks off the second round in exactly the same fashion he did the first. Bakayev's problem is that when he comes forward and throws that right hand, his weight is really far forward and he can't get it back, so if he misses, and Toyrak just takes a little half step back, which is exactly what he did then, he can just stand there and just unload on him. Good example there, he just stoops into that punch. Toyrak that time retreated, so he wasn't really in a position to capitalise, but more often than not he will be. And he's got a cut, I think it's the nose actually, a bit of blood coming from the nose. There's not that much blood, so that would suggest that it's not necessarily broken. Crowd encouraged by that, but as he moved in again there, Bakayev was met with one and he just staggered slightly. This is a better round for him, Astana Arlan. But Toyrak is still landing the crisper shots. A left hand there got through from Bakayev as he switched southpaw, then turned back orthodox. It was all pretty irregular from him, but it worked. Right hand, good right hand there from Bakayev, and then let's go with the uppercut. And this could well be his round, I think. He's just come past Toyrak late on for me. He's a bit crude, Bakayev. It's a bit all over the place at times, but he certainly put the effort in that round. How much it's taken out of him, we'll have to wait and see. But I think he may well have done enough to get that one. And he does 10-9 on all three cards, so 2-point margin for Bakayev with Judge A, level with judges B and C. Toyrak's got to up it here. He can't get hustled out of this by Bakayev. Toyrak of the two has the better boxing skills, but it's not always just about that. That uppercut again from Toyrak. Got through that time. That's a lovely one too as well. He turned southpaw there very, very briefly. Flicked out the jab and then popped Bakayev with the left hand down the middle. Though just slightly getting the better of that exchange on the inside. Toirak's better when there's just a little bit of a distance. When the gap is completely closed and they're on each other's shoulder, that's really where Bakayev kind of prefers it to be. Just pushes Toirak back into the ropes. Uppercut again, and that's the range he wanted that there, Toirak. He was just slightly hesitant. Could have let that right hand go and didn't, and now he's just getting cuffed around a little bit on the inside by Bakayev. He's quite good at just making that tiny bit of space that he needs. Well, the referee has taken a point here from Andriy Toirak for holding on the inside. I didn't really see him warn him for that prior to that, so he's not messed around there, Assassina, at all. And that could be very important. Can't feel sorry for himself, though, the Cuban. How this round is scored will be very, very important now, because if the judges decide that he's lost it 10-9 as well, then with the point deduction also, that will see him 2 points behind on 2 cards and 3 points behind, 4 points behind rather on the other, and that's a terrific margin to have to make up. So Toirak, after a good opening round, could be in a bit of trouble here. Bakayev, I have to give a lot of credit to because he's responded very well. I feared for him a bit after that first round, to be honest, and that was a lovely start to the round there from Toirak with that really stinging 1-2. Let's have a look, and it's 10-9s all the way for Bakayev, and there's that point deduction as well, so that is really bad for Andriy Toirak. He's 4 points down on 1 card, 2 points down on the other 2 cards. So he's got to level it up with those 2 cards, where he's 2 points down, maybe get a 10-8 in and turn it around completely. If he can level those 2 up, if he can forget about the top one, if he can level those other 2 up, then he would go to judges' preference, because the 2 drawn cards would make up what we would know as a majority draw in other codes, but we can't have a draw. So the 2 judges who returned the draw would have to decide who they felt, even if it's by the nearest margin, but who they felt had the better of it. And he's got a lot of work to do just to get to that stage, Toirak, who looks like he might be blowing a bit, to be honest. Bakayev really wants this, and Toirak has got to show that he does too. This is a big opportunity for him. He won't be going to the World Championships. Lázaro will be going to the World Championships. But this was an opportunity for him to get a win for his team, and he is being outworked here by Bakayev. He came into this knowing that he needed the win to keep his team alive. Referee just talking to him again about trapping Bakaev's arm there, and he's looking a bit beleaguered, Andriy Toirak. The crowd are really behind Bakaev here. This is the noisiest they've been all night. And Bakaev is responding. Got caught with an uppercut there as he missed with that big overhand right, but there's not quite as much pop on Toirak's punches now. So the fifth and final round coming up. Well, a point was taken from Bakaev in that round, which potentially could have kept things alive for Toirak if he'd won the round, but he didn't.
Seconds out.
So Bakaev has got this one. He has got this one, and he will win the point. And he will take it to 5-3 and keep the Astana Arlans in it. They'll still need the final two bouts to take it to a tie break. It's better from Toirak. Back to the ropes, found the uppercut, then just snuck a left in around the back of the guard. Just pouring forward again there, Bakaev. He has taken plenty of shots throughout the course of this bout, but they've never really discouraged him. And he deserves a lot of credit for that. Toirak fights in bursts. Maybe that first round, that opening round, took quite a lot out of Toirak, actually. It was a good round for him. Good left hand there from Bakaev. Toirak was open. And he was caught. Toirak just turning his back there as he walks away from Bakaev. And Bakaev really couldn't really do a lot. He has his gum shield knocked out there, Bakaev, by right hand from Toirak. Flying out of the ring on the far side. And the blood that came from the nose in the first round has never really got any more serious. Big overhand right again there, Bakaev. He does have his flaws, but he's worked really, really hard. He's very tough, and he just really wanted this. And that's what's got him the win. As the bell goes, they don't really hear it in there. The referee has to push them apart. And the crowd rises to Olžas Bakaev, and well, they might, because that was a good performance. I thought he would struggle after that opening round. be perfectly honest. But he upped his game, he upped his work rate, his tempo, and he wanted it more than Andriy Toirak. That's what it's come down to. They both had point deductions, so the Cuban wouldn't be able to point to that.
Ladies and gentlemen, decision of Judge Committee. Judge 1, 49-45. British Federation, Argилагос, Хавьер. Judge 2, 48-46. Yakish Federation, Argилагос. Judge 3, 48-46. Turkish Federation, Argилагos. Winning points by unanimous decision winners. Red corner, Олжас.
Bakayev with the win. Well, they revised that at the end, actually, with just the one warning. So just the 1 point was taken. That was from Andriy Toirak. Did indicate that one had been taken from Bakayev as well at the end of the fourth round. And as I say, I didn't really see that happen. So that has been taken back off again. And it was a comprehensive win from Bakayev. Simple as that. Zakir Saffiullin against Lazaro Alvarez up next, and Saffiullin, a really strong, muscular fighter, 5-0 this season. Alvarez, though, a 3-time world champion. Look at that record in WSB as well, 22 wins and just 1 defeat.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, to the blue corner of the ring, we invite the boxer from Team Cuba, Domadores. Please welcome Lazaro Альварес.
Alvarez, world champion in 2011, 2013, 2015. Recent American champion, bronze medalist in London and in Rio at the Olympic Games, on the Pan American Games a couple of times too. So yet another Cuban fighter with a heaving trophy cabinet, and a superb record in this competition too. The equal of Arislandi Savon's going into tonight. Savon has raised it a notch. He's now at 23-1, and if Alvarez can get to 23-1, then that will ensure that the Domadores lift this WSB trophy for a 3rd time in 4 seasons. Saffiullin must win, just as Bakayev had to win to keep his team in it. It's 5-3 at the minute. If he can do it, then he'll get them back to 5-4, and they'll be 1 more win away from a tie break. His record in the competition is not as good as Alvarez's, 9-6, but he's 5-0 this season. Season 5 winner. And he's a strong, aggressive, muscular fighter, Saffiullin. Saw him at York Hall a few weeks ago. And he certainly won't leave that ring wondering whether he could have done any more. Cannot let Alvarez establish a rhythm. 60 kilos, Zakir Saffiullin of the Astana Arlans, and Lazaro Alvarez of the Cuba Domadores.
Round 1, British round.
settling into that southpaw stance. Saffiulin, an orthodox fighter. Robson Conceição, Brazil it was, who won gold at Rio in the lightweight division. Olympic gold is the only thing missing from the set for Alvarez. Just reaching with that left hand a bit there, the Cuban. Came slightly off balance. You just saw that back foot leave the canvas momentarily. Left hand got through there for Alvarez. Wasn't particularly strong, but you could just see the head of Saffiulin just jerk back slightly as he reached in with the right hand to the body himself. Right to the body from Saffiulin. Sticking that jab, Alvarez. It's been caught on the gloves for the most part. Saffiulin just trying to close that gap down and get close enough to be able to really try and use his physicality on Alvarez. That's better for Saffiulin. Digging in the shots to the ribs. Alvarez would prefer to keep it on the outside for the most part. Good southpaw jab there from Alvarez just as the two broke. See, they're good-looking punches from Alvarez. It was a good kind of combination, but nothing landed there, nothing landed clean. That's what he needs to do, Saffiulin. Just threw that jab and moved in behind it. He doesn't want to get into a jabbing contest with Alvarez, a fencing match where they're picking at each other from the outside, because he'll lose if he does that.
Seconds out.
Split scoring. Two of the judges going for Saffiulin, one for Alvarez. Saffiulin had a good finish to the round, so I can see where they're coming from there. I can see that one going either way. Nice right hand there from Alvarez. Just a cheeky little right hook. Caught Saffiulin. Saffiulin, I don't think will feel that Alvarez can hurt him, but he can't just walk forward. Whacks the body from Saffiulin. Alvarez just fending him off with the elbow on the inside there. He can fight on the inside, Alvarez. It's not like he can be easily roughed up. None of these Cuban fighters can. It's sometimes tempted to think that because they have these silky boxing skills that they won't like it when you take it to the street, if you like, but they're not bothered about that at all. Nice left to the body there from Alvarez. Keeping those hands busy there, the Cuban as well. This is more the kind of distance, the kind of range where Saffiullin will feel that it's his territory, that this should belong to him. But he's got to get his punches off because those hands will keep being thrown by Alvarez. He'll just find little angles. It's better from Saffiullin. This has been Alvarez's round for me so far, though, as we head up into the last 10 seconds.
Дамы и господа, в красном углу ринга 30-летний профессиональный боксер команды Astana Arlans, чемпион Казахстана, финалист чемпионата Азии 2015 года. Профессиональный рекорд вселенной серии бокса провел 9 боев. Поприветствуем Закир Сафиуллин!
Well, split scoring, two judges, A and C, going with Saffiullin there, one going with Alvarez. It's been tight, and that's reflected by the scorecards. Two set up nicely at one apiece. Judges A and B 19-19, Judge C 20 points to 18.
Seconds out.
So this one really in the balance.
Asian shootout, round 3.
The crowd here, of course, totally aware of the situation. They know that Saffiullin must win, just as Bukayev had to win. Alvarez still popping out that jab. Ready to throw that backhand there, Alvarez, and then thought better of it. Good throw to the body there from Alvarez. Saffiullin just overbalanced a bit as he threw his own right hand. Saffiullin at times is just waiting a little bit too long. Just so well balanced, Alvarez. The gum shield has come out there as Saffiullin. But when it comes to just standing in the pocket and boxing on the inside fighting, he's very comfortable. Saffiullin is more comfortable there than he is at distance, but he maybe just winds up a little bit too much. He's looking for strong punches, he's looking to really do some damage. Alvarez is just looking to land. And whenever he catches Saffiullin, he doesn't really hurt him, but he just knocks him off balance, he disturbs him, he means that he can't really do what he wants to do. Good examples here. He's wearing those shots, Saffiullin, without too much trouble, but it means that he's just got so much to keep him occupied. He's never really set. He can never really deliver the punches that he wants to deliver, and out comes the gum shield again, and that's a good round for Lazaro Alvarez, and if that isn't scored in his favour, then there's something wrong.
Seconds out.
I'm not sure we're going to get a
Round 4, third round.
look at the cards. So into round 4 we go, but it's tight, this. Not much we do know. There's a lot of water spilt in that corner. I'm just going to get on with it anyway. Shouldn't be too much of a problem. We'll just soak into the canvas. Nice tight stretch canvases they have in WSB rings. Really quick. Fight in the 4th round so far, very similar to the previous couple of rounds. It just depends what the judges feel, who they think is getting the better of it. It's not always easy to pick up every single shot. Saffiullin landed a couple, then Alvarez landed a couple. Saffiullin a little bit wide there as he comes forward, but he is coming forward, and that could count in his favour. He is very strong, Saffiullin. And if Alvarez does start to tire at all, if those hands do start to slow down, then he will have a problem. These two enjoying this, I think. Saffiullin just mocking Alvarez's habit of raising his glove when he feels he's landed a scoring punch or touch, and continues just to try and walk his man down, but he's taking punches left to the head again there, and as I've been saying, he can take them. They're not really hurting him, but they should count. They must count, because Alvarez is landing with regularity. Saffiulin were to land something big, and that would make it different. It's all about interpreting dominance for these judges. Does the gum shield come out again? If it has, then he could be in trouble here. That's the third time, I think, and whether it's deliberate or not, you've got to keep it in your mouth. Bite down, keep it in your mouth. Well, I don't think he took the point there. I think he was saying that it wasn't spat out, that it came out from a punch. The referee. We'll find out when we see the scores at the end of the round, but that seemed to be, to me, what he was saying. Spit it out, then you will be penalised. I remember seeing Galaudia 5 of the British Lionhearts fighting at York Hall earlier in the season. And his opponent kept losing his gum shield in the first round, and there was no real reason for it. And the referee disqualified him. He had no choice in the end. Well, 2 warnings there, according to the scorecard. I could see that one might have been taken, 1 point might have been taken in that previous round. I didn't think it had been, but it wasn't completely clear. And if he's lost 2 points from the gum shield continually coming out, then that is done for Zakir Saffiulin. I didn't see the previous one, I must admit. I think the referees are allowed to show some leniency if it's not deliberately being spat out. You do have to keep it in your mouth, as I was saying. It's one of the rules of boxing. But 2 points to go for that, I think, is a bit much, to be honest. Into the 5th round, and Альварес is on the brink here of winning the trophy for his team, unless Saffiulin can really put it on him, and he's rocked him a bit in the opening minute of this 5th round, I think. You see those eyes there of Альварес, they're not completely clear for me. Saffiulin tagged him 2-3 times, stopped him right in his tracks, and he just has to pour it on here. If 2 points have gone, then he should know that they've gone, and he'll know that means really that he's going to have to stop his man. And Альварес is just standing in front of him and trading here, which is not what he needs to be doing, not at all. But look at those legs, they're not solid, they're really not. He's looking a bit laboured. And Saffiullin's got to put his foot down and go for it here, because he's got to sniff. Another good right hand catches Альварес high on the head, and Альварes this time does just take a couple of paces backwards. Good left hand there from Saffiulin. He's got to work really, really hard now. There's no point leaving anything in reserve here. He's got to pour it all out and just see if he can really make a dent in this Cuban. I think he already has made a dent in him. It's just how serious. Great heart and work rate here from Альварес though as well. Really digging in. Clubbing right hand from Saffiulin, and again Альварес just forced to take a stagger step almost away to his right. Terrific final round. Straight right hand again there from Saffiulin. And again, he's terrifically fit. Bell goes. Good contest. Saffiulin, I think, feels that he's got him, but according to that card we saw at the end of the 4th round, he's had 2 points taken away. I saw one incident where he may have had a point deducted, but it looked to me as though the referee was saying to the supervisor that the gum shield had come out as a result of a punch and hadn't been spat out, so he was going to be lenient. If the penalties are as we think they are, then Alvarez has won. And I don't have any reason to doubt them. Just Safiullin's reaction just made me think twice, but it shall all become clear soon enough. If Alvarez gets the win, and it's Cuba who become WSB champions once again.
Just one. 46-47. Judge 2, 47-46. Judge 3, 47-46. Winner wins by split decision. Red corner, Zakir.
Well, Saffiullin still gets it. It's remarkable, really. Lost 46-47, won 47-46, and then 47-46. So, were it not for the 2-point warnings, he would have got that comfortably. He'd have had it 48-47, 49-46, and 49-46. But he does still get it, and that means that the Astana Arlans are still alive at 5-4. Now it comes down to Aslabek Shymburganov against Ronьель Iglesias in the welterweight division. And this is exactly the scenario we had 2 years ago when it was 5-4 going into the final bout of the Schedule 10. On that occasion, though it was the other way around, it was Cuba who needed the win to take it to the tie-break. This time, it's Astana Arlans who need the win to take it to the tie-break. So it could not be set up any better. Iglesias with another terrific WSB record, 20 wins and just 4 defeats. Iglesias, another man who's really won it all. He was a world champion back in 2009, an Olympic champion in 2012. He's the recently crowned American champion. But the key thing here really is that 2 years ago when they met in the final, it was Shymburganov who won by unanimous decision. It was another very, very tight fight. One of those ones that was level pegging going into the final round, and it was Shymburganov who got it. So Iglesias will be out for revenge here. And for him, there could be no better circumstances in which to do it. It's been a fascinating match. Astana Arlans went 2-0 up. Cuba has surged back to go 5-2 up with 5 straight bout wins, and then under the most extreme pressure, the Astana Arlans have delivered wins when they've absolutely needed them to get it back to 5-4. And if they can do it again here through Aslabek Shymburganov, then we will go to the tie-break. Shymburganov 9-3 in WSB, 4-1 this season. As mentioned, he was a season 5 winner, and he won his fight against Ronьель Iglesias, so that I'm sure will be in his mind too. He knows that he can beat this man because he's done it before. should Shymburgenov win, then it will be to a tiebreak at flyweight. Welterweight division, Aslabek Shymburgenov of the Astana Arlans and Ronьель Iglesias of the Cuba Domadores. So Iglesias into that southpaw stance we've seen for so many years. Shymburgenov, an orthodox fighter. Shymburgenov looking to make a quick start, unloading with that right hand, and again. And I think this might be a really entertaining one because Iglesias loves to rock himself, and if Shymburgenov is going to come forward and really look to make this into a fight, he will need no second invitation. And Shymburgenov has been good and positive here. That's a nice right to the body. And Iglesias has been caught slightly cold. Well, the referee's just saying that that corner is too wet, but that needs to be dried up a bit. He was stuck back in that corner there, Shymburgenov, and Ray Morley's saying that it's too much. He needs to have some of the moisture taken off it at least. Long right hand to the body again now from Shymburgenov. A bit untidy on the inside. Good head movement there from Iglesias. Long reach Shymburgenov has got. Nice combination there from Iglesias. Onto the body with the left hand, then to the head with the right. Just seems to have found a bit more rhythm now, Iglesias. I think Shymburgenov took him a bit by surprise with the really quick start that he made. He certainly won the first minute of this round. The second minute was a little bit more even. Just pushed onto his backside there, Iglesias. Right hand from Shymburgenov. Left to the body from Iglesias. Interesting opening round this. It's been a fascinating final. It's toed and froed, as I was outlining before. When Cuba got into that 5-2 lead, I must admit, I thought that was it, because when they get in front and get the opportunity to close the show, they have always taken it. Shymburgenov's round, I wouldn't argue there. He made that good start. That got him a clear advantage early on, and Iglesias did come back into it more towards the end of the round, but it wasn't enough. It's all about that third star. We've been looking at those two stars on the back of that Astana Arlans tracksuit pretty much all night. Both of these two teams have won WSB twice. They're the two most successful teams in WSB history, and it's 7 seasons so far. Which one of them is going to get that third star? Shymburgenov again looking to start quickly. Iglesias with a left to the body. He's scoring with that right to the body, Shymburgenov. He's found it a few times, and there it is again. He just dips away to his right-hand side and throws it, even when Iglesias seems to be in the middle of getting something decent done of his own. Shymburgenov just finds it. Referee just letting them get on with it there. There's that right again. Heads rubbing together a bit on the inside. Iglesias is bringing his head up underneath Shymburgenov's chin. Left to the body there from Iglesias. To the chest, really. Good right hook there from Iglesias in the middle of all of that. Lead right hook. Final minute of round two. This is not an easy one to pick. The southpaw against orthodox can always get a bit messy. It has been during this 3 minutes. There's that right to the body. Again, he lands it almost every time he throws it. And it's really easy for the judges to see, because it's not delivered from up close. He steps in and bangs it in. Into the second round, another action-packed round as we head towards the conclusion of season 7. Do we have another 3 rounds, or do we have another 8 rounds? Nobody knows just at the moment. Aslambek Shymburgenov got the nod from all 3 judges after round number 1. It was a tighter round, but I'd probably still be inclined to go his way. Let's have a look. Well, it's split. 2 judges go Iglesias, 1 goes Shymburgenov. So level with judges A and C. 2-point advantage Shymburgenov with Judge B. It's difficult to separate these fighters. It's been difficult to separate them in a lot of these fights so far tonight. What you see can depend on what side of the ring you're sat on. I don't have the 360-degree almost view that we have when you have a television screen in front of you. It's a luxury the judges are not afforded. I'm going to tell you, ringside, you can watch it in real time and then check what you've seen at the end of each round. There wasn't really a jab there from Shymburgenov, but all the same, it just seemed to send Iglesias off balance almost. He was just holding the hand out, and Iglesias almost just walked onto it. Nice right hand from Iglesias, just slung from low. Shymbergenov was decent. Iglesias was a little bit off balance as he'd just thrown his own left. Just past the midway point of this bout. Crucial one, remember. 5-4 to Cuba. Kazakhstan must get it. If they do, it goes to a tie-break. We've had a few tie-breaks in WSB finals down the years. Season 3, the Arlans beat the Ukraine Ottomans 6-5. Season 4, Cuba beat Baku 6-5. So this would be the third. And the finals have generally been tight. Milano Thunder, as they were, beat Dynamo Moscow fairly comfortably in season 2, and then last season, of course, the Cuba Domadores overpowered the British Lionhearts 9-1. Shymbergenov again finishes on the right to the body. Doesn't just score, it's going to slow Iglesias up because you can hear the sound it makes every time it lands. Bell goes at the end of the third. And Shymbergenov gets it with all 3 judges, so a 1-point advantage with judges A and C, 3 points with judge B, so he's got 1 card, 1 pretty much, Aslambek Shymbergenov. Iglesias has got to turn it around with the other 2 and win both of these remaining 2 rounds on both of those cards, or we are going to a tie-break. Wide kind of clubbing left hand there from Iglesias. Landed, but there wasn't much left on it by the time it did land. And he struggled with Shymbergenov's long, rangy arms, Iglesias. Cuban has got to dig deep here. It's been a heavy schedule for these Cuban fighters. In action in WSB, and they're all off to Honduras for the American Championships, and in action in WSB again. Soon before that, soon after that. Other nations, other franchises have mixed their teams around to take account for those continental championships. Not Cuba. And maybe at the end of a long, hard few months, it's just beginning to tell on them a bit. A long way to come for this too. They used to travel, of course, but there's a long way to go. WSB been regionalised this season into those 3 groups on geographical lines, so there wasn't as much travelling this time as there has been in previous editions. Iglesias is just, he's fighting on effort here, really. I wouldn't say his technique's deserting him, because that quite simply never happens with Cuban fighters, but he's not looking as crisp and as organised as he often does. Shymbergenov, again, just scores with that right to the body. A very good WSB record himself, of course, 9-3, 4-1 this season. There it is again. Shymburgenov, I think, feels that he's just got his man on the run here. I think he probably feels that he has had, ever since that first minute, it really just set the tone. And since, Iglesias really has been playing catch-up to an extent. He must win this round, Iglesias. He must win it on both of those two cards where he was 1 point down. Good right hand there from Iglesias. There you see him just following his hands, feet following his hands. That's something you often see, the feet crossing. Anathema to Cuban fighters, really. Shymburgenov gets it, and Shymburgenov is all but there. 2 points up with judges A and C, 4 points up with judge B. So unless Iglesias can uncork something very, very special in this final round, and we are going to that tie-break. He needs 10-8 with two of the judges to get it back level. 10-7s to turn it around and win it, and it's very, very hard to see that happening. 5-all Beckhams, and what a match we've had, because the Astana Arlans went 2-0 up, then they were 5-2 down. They looked out of it with the likes of Alvarez and Iglesias to come. It seemed impossible that one of those two wouldn't win, and they just needed that one more win to get over the line, but they haven't been able to do it, and it will go back to 5 apiece. He's fought a good fight here, Shymburgenov. He's looked for that right to the body, he's landed it plenty, he's used that reach. Doesn't really have a snappy jab, but he's at the same time utilised that kind of leverage that he has. And he came out quick. He got right on Iglesias at the start. Nice right hand. I think Shymburgenov will probably feel confident that he is in the lead here. Doesn't mean that he'll take his foot off the gas, but I think he will feel confident that Iglesias really has to make a move in this final round. He just needs to keep doing what he's been doing. Right to the body again there from Shymburgenov. That punch has worked a treat. Into the final 30 seconds, and the game is up here for Iglesias. He needed to do something massive in this final round, and he's not going to be able to do it, so we are going to have 5-5. After the 10 scheduled bouts, and we will go to flyweight, where will be Olžas making his WSB debut against Frank Saldívar, who is 3-0, and the crowd rise because they know what is coming, and so do they. So Shymburgenov has done it again. He turned Iglesias over 2 years ago, and he's done it again tonight. And this will be nervous viewing for all of those Arlans, for all of those Domadores. boxed really intelligently, Shymbergenov. As I said, he didn't really jab, but he kept it long with the right hand, and he landed that long right hand to the body repeatedly.
Ladies and gentlemen, decision no judge committee. Judge 1, 49-46. Birinci dönüşe taraftarımız 46. Judge 2, 50-45. İkinci dönüşe Альварес. Judge 3, 49-46. Üçüncü dönüşe taraftarımız 46. Winner points by unanimous decision. Winner is red corner, Aslанбек.
So, as we knew, Aslанбек Шымбергенов gets it, and what a turnaround. What an extraordinary 10 bouts. Astana Arlans making a tremendous start, going 2-0 up, then the Cuba Domadores turning it around to 5-2, and it was very difficult to see how they wouldn't win from there with the firepower they had remaining. But then Olžas, Zakir, Safiullin, Aslанбек Šymbergenov all stepped up and have levelled it up at 5 apiece, which means that we go to the tie-break. And on paper, you would fancy Frank Zaldivar here because he's the more experienced man. He's got 3 fights and 3 wins in WSB. Olžas I've never seen. This is his WSB debut. Zaldivar I have, and he's a good fighter. But you don't get anybody selected for the Astana Arlans of Kazakhstan in either open boxing or in World Series boxing if he is not an extremely capable operator. So this is fascinating. Zaldivar, 20 years old, and he probably will never have seen Olžas of himself either. That's the story. Ибаньес with advantage in height there. Well, Zaldivar's had 1 bout in WSB 8 season 5, 6, and now 7. Basically, when Yosbani Veitia has not been available, he's had wins against Orlando Huitzil of the Mexico Guerreros in season 5. Ferhat Pehlivan, Turkish fighter, that was in season 6. They were both by unanimous decision, and then this season against Saber Avila, who's a good operator, by split decision. That was back in April. So he's shown what he can do, but the pressure is heaped on him here, and the momentum is with the home side. Some big performances from Astana Arlans. Massive one from Zakir Safiullin, had 2 points deducted and still won against Lazaro Альварес. Absolutely remarkable. Orlando Asabal just keeping talking to him, chatting to him. So Olžas Ибаньес, what a moment this is for him. World Series boxing debut. And the chance to take the win for his team. Well, this is the kind of scenario you hope for at the start of every final, and it's the kind of scenario that, to be honest, is not surprising given what we've had over the course of the season. We've seen a lot of really tight matches, a lot of 3-2 scorelines in the C1 and C2 categories, and the fact that this final has ended 5 apiece is, well, almost to be expected in a way. So the tie break. Olžas Ибаньес for the Astana Arlans. Frank Zaldivar for the Cuba Domadores. 5 3-minute rounds. And at the end of this, we will know who are the Season 7 champions. Ибаньes just popping out that lead hand in the southpaw stance. Saldívar just covering up in a minute, tucking up behind that guard, and then let's go with quite a wild left hook. Right to the body, was a good shot there from Ибаньes. Saldívar's looking to explode and then throw that left hand more often than not. So far, at least. There he goes, leading with a left uppercut that time, Saldívar, and then gets back into that tortoise shell almost. Referee's going to have a word here. Ибаньes does crouch a bit, does come a little bit low with his head, but to be honest, so does his opponent. He's had a bit of blood on the shorts there of Ибаньes. Just a bit of embroidery, hard to tell. That's a good attack there from Saldívar, but he was having to reach a bit for it. It's not really a stiff jab, that from Ибаньes. Did come a little bit square there as he threw the 1-2, the Kazakh fighter. Of the two of these, you would say that Saldívar's probably got the more honed, more refined technique. Ибаньes just looking to bomb with that left hand. Nice right uppercut on the inside there from Saldívar. He's got that kind of bob and weave style. That's good from Saldívar, nice right hand, and he just fell forward a bit there, Ибаньes. I don't think he was really hurt, but I think he felt that one. Referee just having a quick word with Ибаньes about holding. It's quite early in the fight to be being spoken to about that. Nice little short right hand on the inside there from Saldívar, who I think may be capable of taking control of this. That's what the early signs are possibly telling me here on WSB debut. I think Saldívar might be too much for Ибаньes as we hear the bell at the end of the first round.
Представитель команды Cuba Domadores, 20-летний боксер, профессиональный рекорд всемирной серии бокса, провел 3 боя, 3 победы и ни одного поражения. Поприветствуем Фрэнк Салтиар.
Let's have a look where the judges have gone with this. And there's split scoring again. Saldívar would judge B, Ибаньes would judges A and C. Well, very slow getting out of the corner there, the Cuba Domadores. Round 2, so Saldívar down on 2 of the cards. Ибаньes with a very slender advantage after the first 3 minutes, and he's come out looking to try and start quick in this second round. Saldívar's just a little bit over-eager at times. Ибаньes does give you chances. When he throws that left hand, he does look to throw it big, and if it doesn't really land, then he's kind of coming in behind it. explode against that big lead left hook again there. Zaldívar didn't land. To the body there from Ибаньес, but then he was caught with a nice left hand by Zaldívar. It's really interesting this, because Zaldívar of the two looks to be the one capable of doing more damage, but Ибаньes is landing plenty. When Zaldívar's on the inside looking to let his shots go, Ибаньes just keeps those hands moving. Zaldívar looks capable of taking this fight over, but it's not happening. Good defence there from the Cuban. Made to miss there, Ибаньes. Zaldívar just turned him nicely on the ropes. And looks to try and work to the body. Left hand was decent there from Zaldívar. And again on the inside. Good left from Zaldívar, good finish to the round from him. But as always, Ибаньes has got something to come back with. Very high tempo to this, real pace, really high pace. Interesting to see if they can sustain it. At the lower weights they often can, but it's hot and steamy. And he looks a bit weary as he takes a seat there. He's going to need that minute. Ибаньes gets it, 10-9s on all three cards. So he's got a clear advantage now after 2 rounds. Level with Judge B. Zaldívar badly needs this next round with those 2 judges that he's 2 points down with. At least one of them. He has got to get this next round or he is in big trouble. Good 1-2 there to start things off for Ибаньes. Leading with that left hook, it's not really worked for Zaldívar. He's just got to try and up it because Ибаньes is working incredibly hard. Talked about freshness of the fighters earlier on and how Astana Arlans, with the way that they've selected their team for WSB and IEVA Open Boxing, would be fresher. Well, in this particular bout, then, that doesn't really come into play because Zaldívar's just had the one WSB bout this season and Ибаньes has had none, so it's an entirely level playing field in that regard. Zaldívar just banging away on the inside. Ибаньes just looking to try and hold on a bit. Midway through the fight, 1.5 minutes into the 3rd round. And this really, I think, is just going to come down to who wants it more. It's close quarters. Really, it just seems to be about who can throw the most. Some of them get through, some of them don't. There's a left hook, that's better from Zaldivar. And Zaldivar is looking to load up a bit more than Ибаньес. Both landing left hooks almost simultaneously. It's a terrific fight to end with. Zaldivar with his head on Ибаньes's shoulder, just keeping those hands moving. Ибаньес takes a step back and the referee just telling them about the heads, but they're not really in danger of cracking together. They're just kind of rubbing together on the inside because they're just leaning on each other. Just a left on the break there from Zaldivar. He just burrows his head in and looks to try and just keep those arms going. Nice right hand from Zaldivar. As mentioned, he absolutely must win in one of those two cards that he was 2 points down on after 2 rounds. He has to. Little nick maybe on the left eye there of Zaldivar. They've got to do whatever they can in that corner. It's all about psychology now. They've got to get everything they can out of him. Well, I don't think it's going to be enough, whatever they get out of him, because he's 3 points down with judges A and C, and that's exactly what he didn't need. He's a point up with judge B, but he needed one of those other two to score that round for him, and they haven't. Now, he's got to get 10-8s. He's got to get 10-8s. That's the only way he can turn this around. Zaldivar Ибаньес, and his WSB debut is coming out here and giving it absolutely everything he's got. And this would be miraculous if they can do it, because having slipped to 5-2 behind with 3 bouts remaining, when you consider that there was Lazaro, Alvarez and Ronьель Iglesias to come up against Saffiullin and Szymbergenov, who are outstanding fighters, who are fighters who they met in the Season 5 finals. Nothing was ever given, it was certainly not taken for granted, but with one more bout needed, it just seems so unlikely that the Arlans could tie it up at 5 apiece and take it to the tie-break. It's seesawed alarmingly, and if they can take the win here, to come back from 5-2 down to win 6-5, well, it would be incredible. Zaldivar with a little bit of marking up around that left cheekbone. And he's not busy enough, Zaldivar. He's not doing enough. Ибаньес was on the front foot, and that looks good to the judges. He's the one coming forward. He's making the fight. The final minute, heading into the final minute of round 4, and he's having a good round here, Ибаньес, I would say. Ибаньес, for the first time in a while, just takes a little walk, backs off, and they're both happy just to circle and have a touch of a rest. The difference being that Ибаньес can afford it, Zaldivar can't. Bell goes at the end of the fourth, and he's just 3 minutes away now, Ибаньес. Even if he's lost that round with judges A and C, he will still be 2 points clear. I don't think he has lost that round, to be honest, either. Well, there you have it. Judge B has gone the other way again, but with judges A and C, Ибаньес quite simply just has to stay on his feet in this final round and not get knocked out. And the Astana Arlans of Kazakhstan are WSB champions for the third time. Touch of gloves, maybe between the two. No, straight down to business. Saldapart has got to knock Ибаньес out. Ибаньes doesn't need to take any risks here, but there's nothing risky about just continuing to do what he's been doing because it's worked. He's never looked really hurt. And it's been a massive performance from someone making their World Series boxing debut under the most pressurised of circumstances. We've seen some classic finals down the years. I saw an absolute beauty here 2 years ago, but this is right up there just because of the way it's happened, the swings we've had. 2-0 to Astana, turning into 5-2 to Cuba, turning into 6-5 to Astana. You could never have written that. Still just trying to keep those hands busy. Saldapari's doing what he can, but I think they will be confident when the bell goes that their man has got this. Tight rounds early on, but certainly that last one was decisive. I think the third was fairly clear. Nice right hand there from Ибаньес, obviously moved away to his right. Saldapar with that high guard. Moving forward inside the last minute, and he's got to land something huge. And he has to stop Ибаньes. He has to knock him cold. That's the only way he can win. Dr. Wu, the president, now even president looking on, he's been treated to another great spectacle. They're all but there. They are all but there. Ибаньes looks to try and hold up his hands and celebrate. He can now. They know it down in that corner. They are super confident their man has got the job done here, and they're right to be. And what a way to do it. At 5-2 down, they seem dead and buried. Because when the Cubans get in front, when they get a lead, they take care of business. They close that door, and they just couldn't do it today. Yuandri Toirak started well, and then Olžas Bukayev drew level and then went past him. Zakir Safiullin had 2 points taken, but still beat Lazaro Альварес, the three-time world champion. And Aslabek Shymbergenov took care of Ronьель Iglesias, former world champion, former Olympic champion. Let's just get a confirmation.
Judgment
15:45. Bridge Teresha, Yellow Pits. Judge 2, 49, 46, 49. Yekінші Teresha, Tadalta, Tadaltas. Judge 3, 15:45. Points by split decision. Winner is Red Corner, Olžas.
Bazianov gets it, 50 points to 45. He won with 2 of the judges. And Juan Tejera having it the other way around, 4 rounds to 1 in favour of Frank Zaldivar. The right man has won there. I don't think there's any real doubt about that. Bit of a spread in the scoring there, obviously. But it's Astana, Arlans and Kazakhstan who become World Series boxing champions for the 3rd time. For the 2nd time here in Astana against the Cuba Domadores, and they've done it in the most dramatic of circumstances. They went 2-0 down. Or rather went 2-0 up thanks to wins from Temirtas, Jusupov and Ильяс Сулейменов. And defeats at heavyweight, light welterweight, middleweight. For Andy Cruz, wins rather for Cuba for Andy Cruz, Alan Lopez and Arizlandi Savon made it 3-2 going into these bouts. La Cruz made it 4-2, Veitia made it 5-2. It seemed like it was over. And then back they came, Bakayev, Saffiullin and Shymbergenov. And then in the tie-break, Banyazov to make it 6-5 to the Astana Arlans. The 3rd time we have had a tie-break winner in the WSB final. Well, it's been a tremendous season, 12 teams in it, 3 groups. At the start of the competition, organised along geographical lines. We had France back, we had Italy back after just a very short time away. They both acquitted themselves well. We had Colombia in it for the 1st time in Group America. They did superbly well, beating the Cuba Domadores in the group stages in Cartagena and making it all the way through to the semi-finals, where they beat them again in the C1 categories, but then were just eclipsed in the C2s. Uzbek Tigers in their 2nd season once more made it through to the playoffs. The British Lionhearts, after making the final last season, got through to the semi-finals, building on that success. So there's been plenty to enjoy. The standard has been absolutely terrific. As I've been mentioning all afternoon, there have been so many 3-2 scorelines, and we had 2 of them again here, which was why we needed that tie break. It's always intensely competitive, and you can see just how much the fighters enjoy the 5-round format. I speak to plenty of them, the GB fighters particularly, and they love WSB because it just gives them that couple more rounds to think things through. The razzmatazz around it, the crowds. It's been well supported this year as well, and here are the Astana Arlans waiting to be presented with that trophy. This time last year, just over 12 months ago, it was the Cuba Domadores who were receiving it after their win against the British Lionhearts. They've made the final 4 years in a row, the Cuba Domadores. It's an astonishing achievement, really. 4 out of 4 since they took part in this competition. They've won 2 and they've lost 2, and when they've lost 2, it's been by very, very slim margins. 6-4 here 2 years ago and 6-5 here tonight. Both times they've had to travel distances. They've had a long, hard schedule in the last few months. A lot is asked of Cuban fighters, and they almost always deliver, and today they've just fallen short. Dr. Wu, the AIBA president, he's been a busy man in recent times. The Continental Championships have been going on all over the world. Tashkent, the Asian Championships, Kharkiv, Ukraine, the European Championships, Brazzaville and Congo, the African Championships, Honduras, the American Championships, and then the Oceanian ones as well. It's the World Championships later in the year. In Germany, in Hamburg, that's one to really look forward to. And then WSB will be back next season, and I'm told that there are some very interesting plans afoot. But first of all, we need to get the trophy presentation taken care of for the Astana Arlans of Kazakhstan.
My congratulations to tonight's champion of WSB. Astana Arlans, you're once more to win this champion.
Astana Arlandары, сендер тағы да бір рет жеңіске жеттіңдер.
The most impressive is you are behind, but you catch up and win finally. That's really showing the boxers' fighting spirit.
Бүгінгі кешке ерекше әсер бергені сендер жеңіліп келе жатып, жеңіп кеттіңдер. Әрқашан боксшылардың ерікті, жігерлі екендерін көрсеттіңдер.
Never give up.
Ешқашан жеңілмеңдер.
I would also want to congratulate the Cuban team.
Мен тағы да Куба командасында шын жүректен құттықтағым келеді.
They also performed excellently.
Олар да өте жоғары деңгейде өнер көрсетті.
Although they are not winning, but I think they are equal to you. I think you both are the winners tonight.
Бүгін олар жеңіске жетпесе де, сендер секілді де бүгін олар жеңіске жетті деп есептеймін.
Congratulations to Cuba also.
Куба командасына да шын жүректен құттықтаймын.
Looking forward for next year, the WSB will continue. Hopefully, good luck to you again. I think thanks to the Kazakhstan Boxing Federation.
Келесі жылы да бұл сайысымыз өте жоғары деңгейде болады деп үміттенемін. Және Қазақстан бокс федерациясына шын жүректен алғысымды білдіремін.
Thank you, the President, Timur Kulibаев.
Тимур Кулыбаев, президент мырза, шын жүректен құттықтаймын.
He always supports boxing. He changed the boxing in Kazakhstan.
Ол әрдайым боксты қолдап жүреді және бұл саланы дамытты, өзгертті Қазақстан елінде.
Thank you, Mr. Kulibаев. I think I conclude my remarks. Once again, thank to all the people, all the supporters. Without you, the boxing would not be easy to develop. Thank to all of you.
Қорытындылай келе, осы кешке қатысып отырған және бүкіл қолдаушыларға, бокс қолдаушыларға шын жүректен алғысымды білдіремін. Сіздер болмасаңыздар, бұның барлығы болмас еді.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, Dr. Wu's absolutely nailed it there, I think, because both teams performed really, really well, contributed hugely to a tremendous final, but to come back from 5-2 down against the Cuba Domadores, anybody who watches WSB will tell you, to come back from 5-2 down to Cuba and win 6-5, that is basically impossible. So what the Astana Arlans have managed to do here is extraordinary in the context of the history of this competition. It really is. And here come the Cuba Domadores. And as he was always going to there, the president thanking the Kazakhstan Boxing Federation. When you come to Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Ukraine, Venezuela, Cuba, countries that maybe aren't known for sports other than boxing, it's just fantastic because they eat, sleep, breathe, sweat, bleed boxing. They love having these events, and crowds always turn up and really passionate about the whole thing, and they're pretty down in the mouth there, the Cubans, and that's understandable because you don't come halfway across the world to lose. They don't go anywhere to lose. Winning is demanded. That is the base currency in Cuba when it comes to boxing. Gold. But the gold tonight belongs to the Astana Arlans of Kazakhstan.
Дамы и господа, встречаем бурными аплодисментами награждение победителя 7-го сезона средней серии бокса
It's a big trophy. Looks quite heavy. And there they are, lifting it for the third time. 7 seasons we've had of WSB. Italian franchise have won it, as have the French. And Kazakhstan have won it 3 times and Cuba twice. So 3 stars now on that badge for the Astana Arlans of Kazakhstan, and this the most dramatic of the lot, you would have to say. 5-2 down to come back and win 6-5 against the Cuba Domadores is the stuff that dreams are made of, really, and they will be back next season and they will be defending that title. They will be a real force. It's swapped between these 2 nations the last 4 years. Astana won it in season 3, Cuba in season 4, Astana in season 5, Cuba in season 6. Astana again now in season 7. The Domadores will go home with their wounds and be plotting how they can get their hands back on this trophy. Just getting together for a team photo. So I hope you've enjoyed this season of WSB. As Dr. Wu said, WSB World Series Boxing will be back next year. I've been hearing some very interesting things that could be planned. Can't divulge any of them, but in January time or just before Christmas, towards the end of this year, plans will be revealed. You can follow us on all these social networks, stay up to date with World Series of Boxing. And remember, the next IEVA big event, World Championships in Hamburg, Germany, end of August, start of September. But thanks for joining us this season. We've hoped you enjoyed it.
Наши батыры, наши Орланы, Астана, Арланс. И турнир подходит к своему концу. Но мы с вами не прощаемся, ведь впереди нас ждут еще увлекательные бои.